Okay, so here's my problem. I have a retaining wall. It's maybe 4 feet tall. Right with the backyard. And the cinder blocks started breaking off. Just the front face. I found these are 10-foot or 10-inch wide cinder blocks. I believe they're 16 inches long, 10 inches deep. So they're really wide. My plan was to take them all out and build up the wall from the ground up without taking everything out, because it's a lot of cinder blocks and it's pretty deep. Plus, this top cement ledge is mostly intact except for there. So it's mostly okay. I was going to try and build it up from there. But then I realized all the cavities are filled. This is solid. Some of it flakes off a little bit, but it's solid. So what I'm going to try and do is put a wall in instead. Build a board here, support the board, and backfill it with cement. Then put another board on top and keep going up. I've got some rebar to stick in there as well. I've got most of this cleaned off. Most of this is pretty solid still. Cleaned it out and cleaned it out. And the brick that's left, see, that's solid. See, this is attached through the middle of that cinder block, like through there, so that's still solid. So I'm leaving all the solid pieces, taking anything else out. So, not the best way to do it, not the correct way to do it, but this is what I'm going to try. And see if I can find a couple pieces of PVC to put some holes down at the bottom for any moisture that comes down there. Stay tuned. Okay, here's where we are. Again, the proper way is to rip out the whole wall and rebuild the whole thing, but that's not going to happen. So hopefully this lasts for 5 years, 10 years. So here's what I got. I found some PEX, so that should work. So what I did is I stuck some PEX in these deep holes that go in. Now, yep, you're right. Some of my cement may get in there, but that's in there pretty far, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pack it in that far. I'm thinking it won't. I also took some rebar, cut it, bent it in this shape so I can put that down, and that'll tie into here. Also got a couple more pieces to go up higher. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 levels first and kind of go from there. So I'm not going to pack that hole tight with cement because I'll block off that PEX, and maybe the PEX won't do anything anyway. But so PVC, or the PEX is done, rebar is done. Now I've got to find some way to brace this board up against the wall. Okay, so I've got some stakes. I was going to put stakes in the grass and put some 2x4s down to the ground and then pull the 2x4s forward, but this seems to be working pretty good at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to get to 2 levels today. I know if I do 2 levels together, the cement will be more bonded, but I'm not sure if I'll get to 2. But I think I'm going to try pouring it like this. I'm just going to mix up the cement and pour it down in there and trowel it in as well as I can so it packs it in. Okay, I'm just using general basic concrete mix. I was going to use vertical or high strength, but since I've got this board here, I'm guessing it's going to be okay. Make it in small batches and need 2 hands here. Okay, first load's in. I had to reinforce the bottom a little bit because it started pushing out. And it's a little hard to tip that bucket in there, so I kind of had to scoop it in my hand. Get another load, then I'm trying to pack that down a little bit more. Okay, I've used one bag. I've gotten down here, I gotta use another bag. I'm packing it down. I pushed it in, there's a cavity here. I pushed it in there. So I gotta get some more. Okay, here's where I'm at. I stuck pieces of rebar in there. There is one in there. So what I realized, I should have put the stakes in the grass and boards down here to the ground from the beginning, because I'm going to have to do that for the next step anyway, because I can't support the bricks up against the board up in the air. So I'm going to have to put a board here across and then like a 2x4 down to the ground, brace it on the ground, and then pull it tight on top with some rope. I'll show you what I do with that. And I'd prefer that I could keep going right now. I'm gonna have to stop. I'd rather have this be a little bit wet, keep going, and needs another layer. But that was almost 2 bags, and fortunately I'm out of time. So, we'll see how it looks, I don't know. Oh, it looked better than it looks now, but I will continue this tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, the unveiling, got the bricks off. I don't think it's gonna look awesome. I think the bottom's about up. Yeah, it didn't. The pecs worked. I wasn't able to, I probably didn't get it wet enough. It's cement down at the bottom, but what? It worked. So now the next level, gotta go one level up. Okay, next step, I determined I have to go as low as that one there, because it's a little bit lower. So I put this long 1x8 up here. It reaches, it spans the area across. I semi-leveled it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And across. And I've got a 2x4 and there's a 2x2 and a 2x4. Span it. And they go up, up, up. So I'm going to brace them at the bottom. And I've got some stakes here. I'm going to put in the ground and tie a rope from here across. So this is pulled tight and held tight against the wall, while also having the bottom supported. So boards are done. Got to put the stakes in, get support for the bottom, and that's it. Okay, done. Got it braced. I may add another 1 or 2 just to be sure in the bottom, but I've got it staked off. So I'm going to pour concrete just like it did in the bottom. Probably have to do this 2 more times, 1 more big section. Make sure this isn't too tight here. Okay, next step is to pour. Okay, just like before, I'm going to pour the cement, concrete, back there. Okay. So I'm having to scoop it and I can't really pour it because of the angle and everything. So scoop by scoop. It's getting in there. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, next step done. I did 6 more rebar in a few spots. I'm gonna have to go one more, then there'll be a small couple inch gap, I think. Got a wider bore, but it's not long enough. So at least one more in the topper. Okay, let's see what it looks like next day. Not enough space to backfill that. I'm gonna check. Kind of what I thought. The bottom, it's a little, I didn't get it back down there enough, but the top looks good, same as the bottom one. And I haven't been putting additive bonding. I put it in the concrete, but not on the actual concrete, which I'll probably do the next step. So now let's raise the board up. Knock a couple of these out. Yeah, we got the braces reformed. Just put bonding agent in. Okay, one more level done. Again, it's not the best way. Hopefully it's going to get the job done for a number of years. Okay, next step, how to fill in that top gap. See what it looks like. Not bad. So now I need to move that board up just a little bit. That's the next step. Okay, we're all set. Next mold is up. So the plan is to pour a little bit thinner this time. And I'm going to use the dustpan to help push it in there. Then I'll use the trowel to pack it in, and maybe use a board if I have to hold the top. I'll show you. This. Slide a board and hold it a little bit. I know in the end I got to come back and use some finishing cement and get some of these deeper cracks and touch-ups, so that's the next step. Take a look. Okay, I'm able to get this pretty good. So knowing I gotta come back and probably touch it up and maybe drop a little bit. Let me try and put a board in there. This board's bowed out a little bit. So I'm able to put that in there. One-handed. All right, final. Doesn't look too bad there. It's pulled out here. We're gonna have a little lip down there, but I'm trying to get as much sealed up as I can. Go back later at the grinder maybe and then fill in all these pockets where I didn't pack it or get it too dry. Put it on the board. One-handed. that's it. Take it off and check it out in a couple days. Okay, the unveiling. Actually, it looks pretty good, considering. I'm going to use a grinder, just grind off a little bit of the loose overhangs, and then use some vinyl concrete patch cement and fill in spots like down here. Okay, I knocked down all the loose cement and all the rough edges. Took about 5 minutes. I'm going to use some vinyl cement patch now and fill in imperfections. Okay, I used body additive. I painted all the spots I'm going to hit first. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I don't need to make it perfect, and of course it doesn't look perfect, and I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's done. It's getting cold, and I'm gonna leave it and let this dry. I know there's a lot of cracks in the wall. I got some cracks in the steps next to me here, which I've done. I may let this cure and then paint it more so for sealing effect to seal the cracks. So hopefully this lasts a bunch of years. Again, I know it's not perfect. I'm not a cement person, which I'm sure you can tell. So I'll come back and film this again when this is cured, and maybe when I throw some paint on it. Okay, finishing touches are pretty much done. I did seal everything with 2 coats of sealer. I may paint it next year. We'll see how it holds up. I don't want to put all the effort into it. It's gonna last a couple years, so we'll see. All in all, it's a lot easier than hauling all the bricks out of the wall and rebuilding it. Hope this helps. Give me a like, please. And again, I know this isn't a professional job. I'm not a professional, but hopefully it helps someone.